Howdy y'all, it's your right lane cowboy with some more milepost musings. Hey, before I get started, I just want to throw a thank you out there to my brother, and maybe even an apology for not mentioning him in the first couple of videos. When I pitched this idea of a YouTube channel to him, he thought it was an amazing idea, and that if I were to get on and just talk about my day and things I see out here on the highway and whatnot, he would definitely subscribe to it, and he did, and I thank him for that. But the thing I need to thank him for is the idea of calling it the Milepost Musings. That was completely on him. I couldn't think of that. Well, I didn't think of that. He did, and I went with it. So thank you, brother, for giving me that idea. I think it's catching on. A lot of my friends are, liking that idea. So what I have to talk about today is it's kind of important, actually. I mean, people need to really start educating themselves on different highway etiquette. And we kind of touched on it a little bit in the first video, but I think I'm going to go a little bit deeper in this video. So let's talk about motorcycles on the highway around trucks. There's some of my family members that might be seeing this that are motorcycle riders, some of my friends who are motorcycle riders. And right now, nationwide, there's a campaign, Look Twice for Motorcycle Riders. Understand this very clearly. Truck drivers, we do not look twice for motorcycle riders. That's preposterous. We look 5, 6, 7 times for motorcycle riders because they are so invisible out here on the road, especially at night or in the rain. So when a motorcycle rider is hanging out right next to my truck, I get slightly irritated because it can be a potentially deadly situation for the motorcycle rider. My trailer, my truck, barely going to feel it if something happens. The only thing they're going to feel is the tire blowing. Again, I'm sorry for that shaky camera. If it's shaky, good grief, Colorado roads, gotta love them. So the biggest potential danger for a motorcycle rider around a truck is a blown tire, like a trailer tire or a drive tire. It's not going to shake the truck at all, hardly at all. It's not going to make it swerve. It's not going to make it wreck or jackknife or nothing like that because it's a drive tire or a trailer tire, not a steer. Steer tires, that's a whole different situation. But if a drive tire or a trailer tire blows, it's so violent that the pieces of rubber and the pieces of cable, what are the radials in the tire, they're shot out like shrapnel. I had a trailer tire blow one time with a little, I think it was a Honda Civic or something like that, with one of those little plastic bumpers on the front. And when it blew, that guy got off to the side of the road and stopped on an off-ramp, and I stopped. I pulled over and stopped, of course, because my tire blew. I went back and looked at his car, and the shrapnel that came out, I call it shrapnel, but it's little pieces of cable, like what I said, is the radial inside the tire. It comes out in little 1 and 2 inch pieces, and it looked like a porcupine in the front of this guy's bumper, all stuck in there like a bunch of little needles, hundreds of them, little needles sticking in there. And it really kind of opened my eyes to the potential of the potentially fatal situation that a blown tire can cause for a motorcycle rider. I can't even imagine those little things hitting him in the face, the neck, the body, the hands, right up there on the steering wheel. It has to be, I don't know, it's got to be deadly at least. But anyway, a tire has 110 pounds, between 100 and 110 pounds, or it should. If it's not, it's flat in it. So that's 110 PSI, pounds per square inch. But if you take a tire off of a truck and just set it there, and we're able to cut it straight in half and then look into the tire and around, the circle that tire makes with the rim, you got to take all the inches, all the square inches that fit inside there and multiply it by 110, and that's how many total pounds that tire has in it. We're talking thousands and thousands of pounds of pressure. I mean, each tire is rated at 5,500 pounds at 110 pounds of pressure in there. 110 psi inside a tire. So you know that tire has a serious amount of pressure when it blows. That's why it sounds like a bomb when it goes off. It scares the holy heck out of everybody around you. So motorcycle riders, yeah, we look 5, 6, 7 times for you. Don't get angry if we don't see you the first 1 or 2 times. We're looking for you. We really are. We don't want to hit you. That would suck. Don't hang out next to us. Get after it. You got a little bike that can do 130 miles an hour, and get after it and get past us. We'll maintain our speed. Little cars. You should not ever hang out next to us. If you're in any kind of situation that has wind, back in, crosswinds, I-80 in Wyoming, all the highways that go across the Midwest. I have been on highways. Actually, I was on a north and south highway in Kansas with my son in the truck, and that dadgum trailer, it was so windy, I looked in my left mirror, looked out underneath them trailer tires, and I could see daylight underneath my trailer tires. It was up on its side, fixing to blow over. Well, I steered into the tip, and it brought it back down, after screaming and nearly crying. I got it taken care of, and a lot of praying, and I got it off into a truck stop and stopped and let the wind pass by. But it was definitely scary. So when you're a little car and you're sitting next to me, oh, and by the way, not only did it go up on the side, it went sideways too, back and forth quite a ways. So if you're a little car next to me, well, you're going to get hit. That trailer's going to come across and smack you. So don't hang out next to me. Get on it, get past me. You should never hang out next to a truck anyway. In my first video, I talked about cutting this off. When you look in your mirror, you can see that white line on the ground, the striped white line on the ground down there on the right side of your car. When you're passing a truck, count in seconds how long it takes for that white line to get from you to that truck. You should be no less than 2 seconds closer to that truck. You should be farther than 2 seconds away from that truck, ahead of it, before you get back over. That's 200 feet at 65 miles an hour. If you don't, that thing, you hear that bleep bleep? This truck in front of me keeps slowing down, and I got to slow down. Now we're down to 45 miles an hour. I don't know why. Anyway, that's what happens, that little bleep bleep, because the radar in my bumper sees him. Oh, it's radar, I guess it hears him. Anyway, it detects him, and it tells me, hey, you're too close, within 2 seconds. So get past me, way out there past us, get over and get down the road. And once you get back over in front of us, please don't slow down. You're going to tick off a driver. We're already stressed out with the hours we run, We're already up and working nearly 90 hours a week, and we don't take very long lunches. We're only off duty for 10 hours a night, or 10 hours between day, night, morning, evening, whatever. But it's 10 hours at a time, and then we get right back at it for another 11 to 15 hours a day. So don't stress us out by getting in front of us and slowing down. It's irritating. Yeah, it's rude. You don't want to be rude on the highway. So let's talk about cell phone usage while driving. Are you against it? Do you care? I don't know. I got mixed feelings about cell phone usage while you're driving. I believe that hands-free cell phone use should be all right, because there's other things that people are doing while they're driving, like reading billboards, drinking a cup of coffee, drinking a soda pop, eating. I saw a girl yesterday. She had a what do you call those things? A clipboard sitting right here in her lap, and she was writing. That's worse than cell phone usage. She's got her eyes down. Her peripheral vision is off. She can't. None of her sight is on the road. know, at least when people are using their cell phone, I see more people using their cell phone up here high, so at least their peripheral vision is able to see something and activate their central vision so that they can, you know, react accordingly. I can't say that I'm completely against cell phone usage while driving, because it's become a norm. And I think, you know, being in a truck and being able to see down in people's cars, I'm thinking maybe one of these days I'm going to actually do a I don't know, what's that called? A survey, and count people. I might have a little clicker counter in my hand. And I might just look down and see if they're using a cell phone, or I might count it and see what percentage of cars that I see are using a cell phone. Closer to the big cities, it's got to be like in the 70 or 80% of drivers using cell phones. Good grief, I can't see myself. There we go. But cell phone usage. I say if you're going to use a cell phone, get a mount. Get that sucker mounted on the dash and use it to where your peripheral vision is sitting up there, up high, so you can see things that are happening in front of you, and then pay attention. But it doesn't take much more concentration than that of drinking out of a coffee cup. Which reminds me, I have coffee. I should get some. So if you hear a truck driver when you're passing him in like stop traffic or slow traffic and he's blowing his horn at you, maybe it's because you got your face in a cell phone and your thumb is tickling it. Don't do that. Put it down, put it on a mount, do whatever. Don't read text or anything like that. That's ridiculous. It's just dumb. That takes 100% of your attention off the road. We drivers, every driver in a four-wheeler, a pickup, or a big truck should be doing the same thing. They should be checking their mirrors about every 5 to 10 seconds. You know what's going on behind them, know what's going on beside them. They should be looking at their gauges. You know, it amazes me how people drive down the road, central vision. A guy I used to work with in the oil field, he said, "Oh, he's just looking at his bumper." I never understood that. Well, what he's doing is he's looking at the ground, and that's where his vision stops. No, you're supposed to look out there as far as you can. You know, aim high in steering. Keep your eyes moving. All that kind of stuff. All the 5 keys. Every driver out there, motorcycle riders, pickup drivers, four-wheelers, semi-trucks. But put the cell phone down if you have to hold it. Otherwise, get them out. I don't think I could say that enough. I've said it a million times to other drivers out here. Why don't you put your cell phone down and drive that truck? I'll get on the CB up here. Hey, I'll bet if you get that cell phone in the glove box, you can drive that truck a little better than what you are. I'm not afraid to tell people that. And usually I get a comeback on the CB, some smart aleck remark, and it is what it is. It's whatever, you know. See you in the ditch, bloody. I know my bride doesn't like that, but that's what it amounts to. If you don't put it down, if you don't start driving responsibly, you're going to end up in a ditch, and you might end up bloody. I hope not. I only wish the best for them. You know, I pray that they have a good day and they're uneventful, but if they pick up a cell phone and then get in a wreck, who can they blame? They can only blame themselves. Anyway, it's getting dark, and I'm going to cut this short. Thanks again to my brother for the milepost musings idea. I'm going to stick with that. And thanks for watching. God bless.